Hi, we're here with Sara Downs, our Chief Financial Officer here at ODOT for Women's History Month. Welcome, Sara.
Thanks, Renee. I'm happy to be here today. I'm ODOT's Chief Financial Officer, or CFO for short.
Thank you for coming today. Pleasure to have you. For those of us that don't know, tell us a little bit about your journey to ODOT and why you stayed.
Sure. ODOT's been my entire career, or my chapter, as I like to say. It's been one long ODOT chapter. Prior to ODOT, I grew up in a very small town in Northwest Ohio, go District 1. Probably more pizza places, mom and pop pizza places, than there are actual stoplights. I guess ODOT kind of just happened. Went to the Ohio State University and was afforded an opportunity when I was a senior there, finishing out my undergraduate degree, and came in and started to intern, and the door just kind of opened, and I've been here ever since.
So what roles have you served in over your career in ODOT?
So entire career in the Division of Finance, very much bleed finance, bleed ODOT green. I've been in several roles within the division. I started out in accounts receivable, where we bill our local partners and receive revenues from all the different sources that the agency takes in. Got an opportunity to take on a collections project early on in my career, where I got to call local utility companies and businesses that hadn't paid their debt or obligations to us. So that was my first real big girl job, cold calling these companies and asking them to remit payment to us. So after accounts receivable, got to move over to fiscal reporting, where I got to perform the duties of our annual financial statement and reconciliations, as well as the Governmental Accounting Standards Board requirement that we have to fulfill. And then went into management from there, got to oversee the capital program budgets, manage the fiscal reporting and accounts receivable teams. And then in 2016, stepped into the role as the budget administrator, or the assistant CFO. And that was an interesting time in my career, because that's when we went through the gas tax, kind of overlapped the role I'm in, as well as the budget administrator role. And in every one of those, all finance, pretty much day in and day out. It's been finance for almost 20 years.
Yes, you're definitely well-versed in finance, it seems. You talked about how the door just opened. So why did you choose ODOT, or why did you choose civil service in the first place?
Yeah, civil service, public sector, probably not something as an undergrad ever really thought about. I started out as a history major and wanted to be a high school government teacher and a girls basketball coach, and changed my undergrad degree a couple times until, the opportunity opened up in 2005 now. And public sector it means so much to me now, and not knowing as much as I did in 2005, but being able to do good with the taxpayer money and being able to be transparent and tell people where the money really goes, I think is something you find yourself taking a lot of pride in, and seeing the work that the people in the Division of Finance do behind the scenes, much like communications and HR and chief legal. We're not usually out in the spotlight, but that pride you get from the job and the work that we perform, it just is those feel-good things at the end of the day that I reflect on a lot.
I know you're a program advisor for Women in Leadership at Ashland University. Tell us about that role and why you chose to be in that.
Yeah, again, similar to the opportunities that have been here at ODOT, opportunity presented itself to be a woman and leader advisor at a university, and at the time felt that it was a calling to, talk about the experiences and those females that are getting their undergrads that might not know what their next step looks like. Just being able to talk through some of the skill sets and the things to hone in on, or those mentors to see, to help kind of maybe get that next stepping stone in their career. Again, another just feel-good moment to being able to give back and see the people behind you that are someday going to take over the roles that we might be in.
In that same verse, what challenges have you experienced in your career as either just navigating public sector finance or being a woman in finance? Do you have a support system that you turn to, like your own mentors?
Yeah, mentors, much like finance is a part of ODOT's foundation and all that we do, mentors for me has really been that strong foundation, both personally and in my professional life. Early on in my career here, the mentors that I was able to meet and work with directly the Julie Rays, the Alana Habermans, the Jana Cassidys, even Angela Haskins, who's still in finance. Most of them have gone on, finished their careers, but the mentorship of the ladies specifically have really been instrumental to being able to continue to work up the ladder. Challenges, being in public sector finance, there's a lot of criticism and a lot of misunderstanding about where ODOT gets our money, where it goes, what we're doing with all of the money that we get. So I think being able to just delicately and professionally argument the good work that we do with the money and being transparent, something that's a challenge day in and day out on that front. But I think being a female in leadership, I think every woman probably has a story about when they've been told they couldn't do something or maybe they shouldn't apply for a certain job. Much the same for myself. And, I guess my one piece of advice is you can choose to take somebody's feedback or criticism in that manner and let it define where you go, or you can do something with that and work to overcome where they might feel you wouldn't be a good fit. So probably just something I think any person, male or female, should always strive to overcome somebody telling you maybe this isn't a good fit for you.
Is there one challenge that really sticks out for you in your long career here at ODOT?
Probably the transition to becoming the chief financial officer when Director Marchbanks and now Director Borton were assigned to their leadership roles here. They clearly had a vision for where they wanted the Division of Finance to go, and they had a belief when they sat down with me and asked of my interest in the position. I think the challenge for myself at that time, having outlined a career path for myself in 2008, becoming the CFO when it happened was certainly earlier than I had expected or was prepared for. So I think being able to rely and depend on those people around me who believed in me, such as Director Marchbanks and Director Borton, really helped get through that transitional period of that stepping point in my career.
What message do you have for young girls and women who either have an interest in finance or an interest in public sector or just anything in their careers to help them lead the path that you have? Clearly, you have a well-versed resume in leadership and finance in finance in general. What would you say to them?
I'd say for anybody interested in public sector finance, find those mentors. Learn, take every opportunity you can, even if it's not an opportunity there, seek out those opportunities to learn more, to become more familiar, and to, again, strive to defend the position that you're working in so that, others who may be critical or have those negative comments, you're able to adequately explain the job that you do. Don't let that deter you from stepping into a role if that opportunity exists.
You talked about it earlier about having a sense of pride when it comes to showing the transparency for our tax dollars. What's been a project that you have such an immense amount of pride of, like, I got to work on that from the entire career that you've had? Maybe you haven't hit it yet, but one that's really just sticks out that you were like, I'm glad I was a part of that.
I think the easy answer would be House Bill 62 and the gas tax increase in 2019. Probably not the easiest or something, as a CFO in a state DOT, you want to go through every 2 years when we do a transportation bill. Probably the easy answer to say that just because it generated additional revenue for ODOT and our local partners to continue to maintain and build out our transportation inventory and our network. But I think for me, the real pride is the work that the men and women in the Division of Finance do. It might sound cliche day in and day out. If finance isn't in the news, it means we're doing a good job, because if you're in the news from a fiscal perspective, you probably did something wrong. And there's a lot of behind the scenes work that we are recognized for nationally, much like some of the other ODOT support divisions. We're on these great committees that recognize the work that ODOT does. And from a finance perspective, they take a lot of pride in the work they do, and being able to support them. I think, at the end of the day, when I reflect on what did I get done today versus what do I need to do tomorrow, the work that they do is really what I think about and what gives me the most sense of pride. And a lot of mini projects kind of roll up into that. So that's, could probably go towards that versus one specific thing.
You're at CFO level. So what would you envision is your future? Like you said, you took on that role so early on in your career. What would you envision being the next step for you?
I think the hard part is when you define a career path so early, like I did in 2008, and every one of those stepping points I've accomplished and worked to get to. I didn't really define anything after Chief Financial Officer. And I think about the next level in state government, specifically at ODOT, because again, my career has been this chapter. There's been some great directors. I've been here under now 5 of them, and specifically seeing the work that Director Borton is doing. Would love to, get an opportunity someday to be the ODOT director, whether that, politically or personally and professionally all comes together. It's anybody's guess, but I think just being able to develop the next group of people that want to lead the Division of Finance here, if I can accomplish that, will be, for me, a successful thing. Julie Ray, Rich Winning, great CFOs, they always prided themselves on getting people ready for those next levels. And I want to be able to walk out of here and the people behind me delivering the finance projects and products in the same way that they taught me. So outside of that, I don't know.
No, that's great. That's great. Do you have any other final thoughts? I know this is all about Women's History Month, but it's also about women's history is Ohio history, and we're both a part of that fabric, as is so many others. So do you have any final thoughts or any message you'd like to share?
I'd say just work hard, put a goal out there in front of yourself, find the people around you, surround yourself with the people who are going to help you get there, and, overcome the naysayers or the people wanting to maybe detour you down another path that maybe you don't want to go. Just work hard and find those people around you that are really going to elevate you to the places that you want to go. Let's talk basketball.
What position did you play?
Point guard.
Oh, I was a post. I mean, not that is surprising. Where did you play?
Northwest Ohio.
Did you play at ONU?
I did not.
Okay.
I got recruited by Bluffton College. So yeah,
Okay.
Small town.
Yeah. No, I went to Mount.
Okay.
Yeah, but it was a good time.
I love basketball. My daughter's playing now.
Really? What position?
Well, she's kind of playing a lot. Our point guard went down with a sprained ankle, so she kind of plays point guard, shooting guard, but then usually has to guard the tallest girl on the other side. So she's a little bit of
she's
everything.
well versed.
Yeah, I'm loving it.
Do you ever feel like too involved?
Oh yeah. Sunday they played in the championship game and I didn't eat until I just was a nervous wreck for her, and it was great. They won, and
that's awesome.
30-game winning streak. They're good. So
do you coach her at home, or do you just try to be on a parent role?
I coached her a couple years ago, and it went well. I was a little worried because I was like, she probably would do better with not mom coaching, but we'll go to just hoops and get in 1,000 shots. So we work on stuff there.
Of course.
Yeah.
Love. Did you shoot 1,000 shots?
Oh yeah, it's her account, but I'm put up just as many because why not? I got to help her percentage.
Did you coach after you graduated?
I did.
Really?
I
That's
did.
awesome.
So
Did you feel intense after that?
A little bit. So I coached in Circleville, and I helped start their feeder program with a couple other people, and they were in 3rd grade. And by the time they were seniors, they were 1 game away from making it to the state championship. So just a lot of pride being able to watch. Obviously made me feel old too, but a lot of great memories getting to watch them get that far.
No, absolutely. And I feel like that's instilled in a lot of athletes of wanting to develop the next generation. I mean, that obviously translates to work so well. Just wanting to help, wanting to coach. I know sometimes I get a little intense about it just because of the nature of being an athlete. And I can imagine with being in finance, you're very to the T. Yeah. This is you're doing shell drill. You're shooting it this. You're doing 1,000 shots.
The pennies are important.
Yes, exactly.
Very much just like the percentages in basketball.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, thank you again so much for sitting down with us, Sarah. I enjoyed our conversation immensely.
Thanks for having me. Just use all the basketball.
Yeah, I know.